Hey everyone, this is Gaming Solo coming to you from a bunker on Microtech to talk a very interesting topic that's going around right now in Star Citizen, and that is game stability. This is supposed to be the year of stability, and through this video, you'll start seeing some cracks around the thought that the game is more stable right now. The game is not super stable right now, and it's getting there, but currently I wouldn't call it super playable. It is an alpha after all. However, there's a new focus on getting the game stable, and there's some different thoughts and things on this topic. So I kind of wanted to discuss it and get some thoughts from you. So if we go the route of stability, which is what it seems we're doing, the game will definitely be more playable. And they've mentioned that they're going to continue to bring content, not features, but content. Features will come just at a slower pace, but the content is going to be coming. It's a little funny that they say that the content's going to come after they took out a lot of the content to do the mission refactor. So it's going to feel like Christmas as we get those missions back in the new mission refactor they had to do for server messing. But aside from that, having new content is always good, and if the game is in a playable state, could be enjoyable for all of us to try and test as we go. It's an interesting approach because the game up until now has been considered alpha. And what they're talking about now is getting closer to beta, though technically a beta state would require the features of the game to be in. And we're far from that. The features that they have outlined for a 1.0 release are much more abundant than the features that we currently have in our hands, and a lot of those features I doubt are even gray box because all we got were images and stills and graphics of most of those features. We got a little bit of base building, but it was a very basic kind of developer look at it. As far as building the space stations, probably 10 years out from that, if I had to guess. But as far as getting to 1.0 and the stability, I'm not sure what it's going to do as far as putting the game back from that goal of 1.0. I've heard some people say that it's great, and I'm kind of in that camp that it's great that they're working on stability right now because without stability, you don't have players because who wants to play something that's broken? And without players, you don't have funding because their funding model is still to sell subscriptions and ships to their backers. You're not going to attract new people like the streamers that are rather large that have been testing the game, at least as of last year. I don't think many have tested so far this year, and for good reason. It's been very broken since right before Christmas when 4.0 came out. But considering streamers are getting interested and they're checking it out, especially with Squadron 42 coming out over the next 12 to 24 months, people are kind of wondering, hey, what's going on with this company and these games? They've been in development for a long time. You said one of them's coming out soon. Hey, let's try out what they got going on. And so it'd probably be an advantageous thing for the game to be playable. I'm going to miss the regular feature updates and being able to try out new stuff, but on the flip side of that, the frustration of spending 30 minutes getting stuff together, putting stuff in crates, getting them on the ship, and being ready to go for a mission or a long term, band of missions with friends and things like that, and all the jank that comes with going out with a bunch of people on one ship, and the ship breaking, and if you're in something like the Carrick, the elevators turning to the side on you and not working, and people getting stuck, all that stuff. That could be out the window soon, and you could have a very playable experience with friends going to do bunkers and bounties and things like that. However, there's only so much content in the game at this point, and there's only so many features in the game at this point, that having a stable situation to play in might end up speeding up the burnout feeling for some people who play the game a lot. Because if you're able to do everything you want every time you log in, and you're able to succeed at it, and you have no money sinks and no reason for reputation at the moment, then we might be looking at a situation where a lot of people can come in and try it, and they'll enjoy it for about a month, and then they disappear again because there's nothing left to do. They've really got to strike a balance when doing this for the new content that they're talking about and the features that everyone got excited for and is waiting on, especially crafting and base building. If they don't get those in the next 12 to 18 months, like Chris Roberts said back at CitizenCon, they're going to have a huge problem on their hands because they're going to get the game real stable, but then everyone's going to come in and say the game is dead. There's nothing to do. Yes, it's a sandbox. Yes, pirates are going to always have fun because they're always going to find people to pirate. However, the rest of us that are just doing missions and wanting to build rep and wanting that to be meaningful, there's not a game there for that at the moment. It's still just a big tech demo. It's a cohesive tech demo, but it's still just a tech demo. And to move out of an alpha state, you need something more akin to a launchable game with bugs than you do a unbugged game with no content that really holds people there. That's the problem with MMOs that are releasing lately, is the depth of content and the time to obtain that content. The ceiling's not very high for it. You can level up to max level very rapidly, and then you finish out the content, and then you're done. On the flip side of that, you have the games that lock a bunch of content behind paywalls, or the difficulties locked behind paywalls. And if you're free to play, you get frustrated because everybody else is getting to that content faster. Now, I don't think Star Citizen's ever going to go in that direction and put anything behind the paywall. They've actually said explicitly it will not be a pay-to-win game. However, they have sold ships, so some of the things that we would buy in the game, like ships, those we might already own for real money for pledging and supporting the project. So it all comes back to, at the moment, when it's all said and done, if you were to get rid of all the bugs, there's something there, but it's still lacking in depth. We have a lot of um, really great design. We have a lot of great graphics. We have a lot of great concepts going on. We have great tech with server meshing going. Once we clear all the bugs from all the stuff that we're playing right now, there's not going to be much of a game to play. And that is my biggest worry and fear, is if they get all the bugs fixed and they're not putting out the content um, and the features at a decent rate, maybe a lower rate than they were, but they got to put something out, then we're all going to be bored. It's going to be a boring year once they get the bugs worked out. Now, some of you might be saying, well, it's going to take them more than a year to get the bugs worked out. You might be right. You might be right. And that's even sadder because then the features are going to get pushed back that much more. And I say pushed back. We don't have any roadmap for the features at this time of when they want to get things. We haven't even got the roadmap roundup this month yet. However, they have an internal roadmap. I'm sure they have to have some kind of goal in mind, some kind of set thing that they want to accomplish internally. And if they can't make that because the bug fixing is taking too long, then obviously that internal roadmap is going to continue to back up. So anyway, what do you think? Do you think that I'm just rambling? Do you think I'm going crazy? Or do you think that the bug fix is the way to go? Do you think they should shove all the features they can into it and fix it as it goes because it is an alpha and we do all know what we signed up for? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. As always, like and share if you enjoyed this and you want to see more content. And I'll catch you guys later.